All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. I want to get into this lesson here. Okay. This guy here, what's his name? The new Pope. He made a quote, okay? A beacon that illuminates the dark nights, okay, of the world, right? First of all, you are darkness, okay? You're of darkness. You're not, your spirit is not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The doctrine that you're preaching is not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Remember, in Revelation, it tells you that. Let me get it real quick. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See, thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Now, they don't have the testimony of Yahushai. They're coming with some other name, okay? Which we know that's not Yahushai. That's not his name. That's not of him, right? The way they act and portray, what they, that blonde hair, blue eye, what he stands for, you could eat pork and all this nasty shit. What he stands for is not what Yahushai stands for, okay? And Yahushai and his testimony is completely different. One is darkness and one is light. Yahushai is light, okay? But their doctrine there is of fucking darkness, all right? So let's get into something real quick here. Let me check this out. This guy look mud. Let me check this out here real quick. Slack here 1 second. Mud. Yeah. So going back into this, that JC stuff, he's of darkness, all right? And Yahushai, he's of light. So going back into it, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See, thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy, and they do not, come in the proper manner with prophecy, okay? They don't talk about the MOTB, okay? They don't talk about what's going to happen in the end. They just make it seem like, Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that the houses shall continue on forever. But they're not talking about Jacob's trouble, right? They're not talking about prophecy at all right? All they're saying is if you do bad, you go to hell. If you do good, you get cookies and you get to ride around, on a golden horse all day. And JC gets to wave at you and, you get hugs and kisses, all this bullshit they talk, okay? Your dog's going to be there. Your cat's going to be there. Your grandma that you haven't pondered about in a long while, all that bullshit. So that's not, the spirit of Yahushai, right? That's of JC. The spirit of Yahushai would be telling you about the prophecies, like I said, Jacob's trouble, the MOTB, things that are about to happen, okay? So they're not coming in the spirit of Yahushai. They're coming in the spirit of the world. They're coming in the spirit of the devil, man, okay? So you already see he got, selected, put in there, okay? See, Pope Leo says Catholic Church must illuminate dark nights of this world. Now, I said that quote is pretty, why don't you say that, the Catholic Church must put out the darkness in the world, right? Instead of saying illuminating them, okay? As if to bring, people to them or make a road or a route to them, okay? Vatican City, Pope Leo celebrates his first mass, whatever. This is the thing that I want. Warning of dangers caused by a lack of faith and hope in the Catholic Church could be a beacon light in the world's dark nights, okay? So once again, like I said, with that statement, it's kind of funny, it's kind of weird, and you guys are not of light, you're of darkness, all right? Straight up. Yeah, this is another thing that I wanted to get into, because in Revelation chapter 16 and 13, we're going to get into it real quick. So let's get into this, what they're quoting, that there are, going to illuminate the dark nights of the world. This is trickery, right? Because that JC stuff that they're coming with is just a deception. Revelation chapter 20 and 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. And right now he's in this little season where he's loose after that prison sentence. Okay, and he's gone out to deceive the world. That's why they put up this, this Renaissance. They put up this other image, right, which is not of Yahushua, which is not of the spirit of Yahushua. Okay, they changed the images around, right? You got naked Adam and naked God, so-called white, right? When really Adam, everybody knows that Adam had to be a so-called black man, okay? You don't make recessive and then get dominant from it. No, okay? So, we know your deceptions. We're keen to your deception, okay? To your games that you're playing, all right? We're keen to, as it says right here, let me go to verse 3. And shall cast him in the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose a little season. This is the little season that he's out, gone out deceiving the world, talking about they're the people of Yahweh, when you're the people of darkness. You're the people of Satan, man. Okay? You're Satan's seed. Okay? Yep, let's go to Isaiah chapter 8 and 20 real quick. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And right, they're not speaking according to the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Okay? They're coming with that worldly, that deception. Okay? They're coming with a false doctrine. All right? Coming to deceive the whole world. But mainly, they're coming to deceive our people, the 2/3 of our people. Okay? Because you got, with that Catholic shit, the Northern Kingdom is heavy into that, okay? Heavy, heavy, heavy. It's, you hardly find Judah and Benjamin and Levi into that Catholic shit. Well, actually, those Levites, sort of, but really, the Northern Kingdom, man, is heavy into that Catholicism bullshit, man, okay? So, once again, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them, okay? And they're not speaking according to this testimony. They're not speaking according to this word, okay? And we clearly know, yeah, man, there's no light in them. They're of darkness, all right? You see how much things they've done in the world where, the Catholic Church, the bordering schools with the so-called Aboriginal, the Northern Kingdom, Gad, what they did. Scriptures tell you not to trust this man, okay? Because he's a liar and a deceiver. He tries to make it look like he's the good guy, but really he's the fucking bad guy, okay? 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 13, for such are false apostles, right? And they're false apostles, man. Deceiving workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So they're coming with this message and they're making themselves seem, oh, I'm more holy than thou and all this bullshit, trying to make themselves look like, yeah, they're the men, but really inwardly they're devils, man, okay? No marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works, okay? So even the ministers and all underneath, they're portraying themselves to the world to be great men of the Lord, righteous men, right? But inwardly, they're fucking devils, man, working deceit, okay? This is why we tell you, don't trust this man. This man's going to stand up there, say all these nice words, make himself look like, he's the dude, he's all holy, he's righteous, You know, his shit don't stink. There's not a scratch or mark. But they said this guy had scandal. There's some scandal with this guy. Okay? And the more deeper you look, you're going to find more scandal because these guys, they're sexaholics when it comes to little kids, man. They got a inordinate affection for little kids. Like, they're possessed, man. Okay? Because we know how much scandal has come out. Not even the truth has come out about, the Catholic Church and what they were doing with little kids. What these priests were doing. All right? Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 25. When he speaketh fear, believe him not. Okay? Yeah, they get up there with these fear speeches that there is written for them, right? To make them sound good and look good. Oh, I'm concerned about the world, and we can't go on like this as a human race, and blah, blah, blah. For there are 7 abominations in his heart, in his mind, whose hatred is covered by deceit. Right, so when he stands up there and he's telling you, oh, we love you, we love all mankind. Remember, Psalms 83, they took a pack, okay, to cut us off from being a nation, okay? All these fear words and fear speeches, you 2/3 get gobbled up by it and get all gushy and emotional. Say, oh yeah, the man loves me, man. See, he loves me, man. Look what he's saying, man. Now let's continue. Whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Yeah. Eventually what happens is these people, are going to be, we're making it known, okay, who they are and what they're all about. All right. And, sooner and later you get to see, yeah, these guys are up to some scum. They did something over here. They did something over there. They're not men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? But 2/3, like I said, they can't see through that veil, okay, that's set up. Okay, they can't see through it. But the Lord has put the Spirit upon us to know, okay? So, going back into this, let's go to Revelation. The false prophet, okay? Revelation chapter 13 and 16 and 13. I knew I wrote it down wrong. No, I wrote it down right. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of his mouth. And, the dragon, you got the old Roman Empire, which is revamped. Remember, he was supposed to be loosed out of his prison sentence, which when he got out of his prison sentence, Renaissance, he took down our images, put up the images of him, portraying that he is God and all this stuff. And, that system was revamped. When you look at America, aka Babylon, it's Rome all over again, okay? And out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet, okay? So yeah, going back into that, most of the false prophet, like we had here, okay, the Vatican City, okay, Rome, right, where the head of this Catholic, bullshit sits, right? So the scriptures clearly are showing us, like, look, these guys are deceitful workers. These guys are devils, all right? They have not the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're trying to, deceive you, okay, to fall into that web, to fall into that trap. So this is prophecy. This is something that's written in the scriptures. And the Lord has given us the spirit, to understand it, okay? So going back into this, let's go to the last scripture here. Or, no, not last scripture. Because they can never walk with Yahushua, man. They're of darkness, all right? Yeah, 1 and 6. Let's start from, 5. This then, 1 John chapter 1 and verse 5. This then is the message which we have heard of him, and declare unto you that Yahweh is light, and in him is no darkness at all. Okay, remember, these guys so-called scandal, but it was truth. Okay, they were molesting kids. They were doing all types of odious works on these kids, man, right? Putting them to death, all types of rituals and all types of stuff, man. Okay? And all those things came out, man. You know, the school, the boarding schools, and all that stuff came out. So all of that stuff right there is of what? Darkness. It's not of light. Okay? And in him is no darkness at all. If we say we have fellowship with him, talking about Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right? And walk in darkness, we lie and do not the truth. But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, his son, cleanses us from all sin. Okay? But if we walk in the light, a lot of guys don't want to come to the light because their evil deeds will be shown. And these individuals, they stay in the darkness. All right? And the scriptures tell you that the whole world, gross darkness shall cover the whole world. But who's going to arise for us to show us the way? The spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 16. The people which sat in darkness saw great light. And to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up. This message, the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Psalms 40 and 7. Okay? And it is sprung up upon us, the ones that have the understanding. It's sprung up upon our people, but our people rejected. Just as in the past they rejected, just as in the past they didn't want to keep it by faith, right? They want to walk by sight and not by faith, right? Talks about that in Romans chapter 9 as well. And Yahweh Shai was a stumbling block onto them, right? And much like now, Yahweh Shai, the message of Yahweh Shai, the true message, right, is a stumbling block even onto the ones that proclaim they know they're Israelites, okay? Those who proclaim of the circumcision. Yahweh Shai, the message of Yahweh Shai is even a stumbling block onto them, okay? Because you got the elect out there and they're going to proclaim this word, the 100% truth. They're not going to, you know, take some here and take some there, or take what they want over here and take. No. If you have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, it is of prophecy, and you're going to prophesy right. You're not going to, oh, the MOTB is this, or the MOTB is that. No, you're going to say what the fuck it is, because you're not ashamed, and the Lord didn't give you the spirit of fear. He gave you the spirit of boldness to speak this word, right? So, oh, and also, too, Matthew chapter 5 and 14, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid, okay? Let your light, verse 16, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Okay? But men don't want to come to the light because it tells you that their evil deeds, right, will be shown, man. And much like, is this? Yeah, for every, verse 20, John chapter 3, verse 20, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, hateth the light, hateth the message of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay? Neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved, right? We're going to see that you're a bug out. We're going to see that you're not really about Yahweh Shai, right? We're going to see you for you, all right? You can't hide something from light. So if we're made lights, we can see clearly, look, this guy's a fucking bug out, okay? He's going to the music. He's piping to the music of this world. Remember, Isaiah chapter 8 and 20. So these people right here that is set up by the wicked elites, they're not the truth. They're workers of deceit. Okay? They're the seed of the devils, man. Remember, you got the righteous seed, Yashra Allah. You got sons of men, these other nations, and the son of the wicked, sons of Satan, okay? Roaming about the earth, man. And these sons of men, they got their own fucking doctrines. You know, Gishnu and Vishnu, all this fucking weird shit, you know? The Hamites got Dogon and all this other weird shit, right? But the sons of Satan, what do? They jack the sons of righteousness, right? Twisted around the message and everything like that, turned it upside down, and then fed it back to us. And now you got a multitude of our people following these people to do evil, which, let me get that real quick. You know, that Catholic shit is wickedness, man. Okay, that's Catholicism. Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, northern kingdom. And some of you southern, you know, Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrestle judgment. And that's what they do exactly too. Okay, because those lies that are coming out of their mouth, okay, is causing people to wrestle judgment and error in judgment, okay? And like the scripture said, follow not a multitude to do evil. That fucking worshiping JC, that's wickedness, man. That's evil. That's evil, okay? Bottom line. So you shouldn't be following no multitude that, like, the 2/3. That's a huge, Northern Kingdom, right? That's more of a percentage than the Southern Kingdom, right? And what they out there doing? They got those beads, those prayer beads. They, getting down on their feet, crying to Mother Mary and all this stuff, when we shouldn't be, worshiping no woman, okay? It tells you that in Luke. A woman jumped up and said, "Blessed be the womb." And they said, no, get out of here, woman. So, hey, man, these people right here, going back here, yeah. These people here are of the darkness. You can't illuminate shit. You are of the darkness, man. You're of wickedness, okay? You are of fucking wickedness, man, all right? So there's no way around this, man. You talking about you're going to illuminate the dark nights of the world. What the fuck you mean you're going to illuminate the dark nights of the world? You're not of light. You can't, going back into 2 Corinthians 11, right? They transform themselves into that and may appear to come across like, yeah, we're good men. We're righteous men, man. Right? But no, inwardly, they're deceitful workers, man. Workers of Satan, man. Okay? So with that, Akim, hey, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you were edified. Lord willing, to the next time, Akim. Wach abad babal. Slakia. Wach abad babal. Shalom, Akim. Shalom.